students, today we can learn about the reproductive system. First we can learn about the female reproductive system. So female reproductive system comprises of ovary, uterine tube, uterus and vagina. Here we can see ovary, this is section ovary, uterine tube, this is our uterus, and here comes the vagina. So these are the parts of the female reproductive system. Okay, we will learn each of the components. First one is the ovary. So this is the ovary. Ovary is the female gonad, and it produces the ovum which helps in the fertilization to form an individual. So this is known as the gonad which produces the gametes. Okay. So that is the ovary, and the ovary is situated in the ovarian fossa. Ovary is situated in the ovarian fossa, and ovarian fossa is in the lateral pelvic wall, pelvic cavity. So this is the section of the female pelvis. Here we can see this is the anterior, and this part is the posterior. Anteriorly, next to the anterior abdominal wall, we can see this is the urinary bladder. Here comes the uterus. This is rectum. Here this is our aorta. It divides into common iliac, right and left common iliac. Common iliac again divides into external and internal iliac. Internal iliac will go like this. Then this is inferior vena cava formation, and here comes, this is our uterus. Uterus, on either side of the uterus we can see the uterine tube. This is the uterine tube, and here comes the ovary. This is our ovary. So ovary is situated in a fossa, in the pelvic cavity. This is our pelvis. So inside the pelvic, lateral wall of the pelvic cavity, we can see there is a depression that is known as ovarian fossa. Here, ovarian fossa. So ovarian fossa is bounded anteriorly by the obliterated umbilical artery. This is the obliterated umbilical artery. It is coming like this. So it forms the anterior boundary, and posteriorly it is formed by the ureter. This is our ureter, and here comes our internal iliac vessels. Like this it will come. So internal iliac vessels and ureter forms the posterior boundary, and lateral boundary it is formed by laterally. So deep to this fossa comes the obturator nerve and vessels. Obturator nerve and vessels passes deep to the fossa. Okay. So it is the ovarian fossa, and the position of the ovary. So normally ovary, the position will vary in nulliparous women, that is the women which do not give birth to children. In that females we can see the ovary in the ovarian fossa. But in case of women who give birth to the children, that is multiparous women, this ovary cannot be seen in the ovarian fossa. It can be seen in the pelvic cavity, but not exactly in the ovarian fossa. That means because during the pregnancy time, the uterus will enlarge. So when it goes enlarged and it reaches the abdominal cavity, the ovary also will go along with the uterus. Okay, when it come back after delivery, in the normal position, the ovary should not be seen in the ovarian fossa. Okay. And here comes, this is the uterus, uterine tube, and this is the ovary, and this is the ovary. We can see the position. And in case of nulliparous women, the ovary is seen in a vertical position, vertically placed, with an upper pole and a lower pole, like this. Okay. But in case of multiparous women, that is women give birth to children, the ovary is seen in a horizontal position. Upper pole will go towards lateral side, lower pole will be going towards the medial side, to the uterus. Okay. So this is the normal position of the ovary. Next comes the parts of ovary, external features of ovary. The ovary has we can see the surface of the ovary. This is our ovary. I'm showing another diagram. So this ovary, see this one, the external features of ovary. So in ovary we can see the before ovulation, okay, before the onset of ovulation and in young girls, okay, the surface of the ovary is smooth, but after the onset of ovulation the surface become irregular due to the ovulation, okay, after onset of puberty, okay, when after puberty the surface become irregular because of the ovulation, okay. Then here we can see the surface become irregular because here we can see the corpus luteum and all, because during ovulation the walls of the ovary will burst out, okay. So, and features, there are two poles. Ovary is an almond shape. It is an almond shaped structure and it has two poles. There is an upper pole and a lower pole, and it has two borders. There is an anterior border and a posterior border, and it has two surfaces, medial surface and a lateral surface, deep lateral surface. Okay, so these are the features. So it has two poles, upper pole and lower pole, anterior border, posterior border, then medial surface and a lateral surface. Okay. So we can see this one, upper pole. The upper pole is broader than the lower pole. This is broader than the lower pole, and it is related to the uterine tube. Here we can see this is the uterine tube. So it is related to the uterine tube and external iliac veins also. It is related to uterine tube and the external iliac veins. And this you can see the suspensory ligament of ovary is attached to the upper pole. This is the suspensory ligament of ovary, this one. So this is attached to the upper pole of the ovary, suspensory ligament. So through the suspensory ligament we can see the ovarian vessels are coming. Yes, suspensory ligament is attached to the upper pole. Okay. Then lower pole is narrow when compared to the upper pole, and it is related to the pelvic floor. It is related to pelvic floor, and it is connected to the by ligament of ovary. Here we can see ligament of ovary to the lateral angle of the uterus. This is our uterus. So it is connected to the uterus through ligament of ovary. Ligament of ovary. Then comes the anterior border. This is known as anterior border or mesovarian border. This is straight border. This is straight, and we can see the attachment of a ligament or the fold of peritoneum. This is known as mesovarium. So this small fold of peritoneum here, this is known as mesovarium. So mesovarium is attached to the anterior border, or otherwise it is known as mesovarian border. So mesovarium is the fold of peritoneum. It's a part of broad ligament of our uterus. So here we can see. So this is the mesovarium. So mesovarium is attached to the anterior border. Then posterior border. Posterior border is free border. It is convex. It is convex, and this fimbria will come like this. It is related to the uterine tube. Okay. Then two surfaces, lateral surface and medial surface. This is below. This portion is the lateral surface, and the lateral surface, it is related to the ovarian fossa. Okay. Lateral surface is related to ovarian fossa, and it is related to our obturator nerve and vessels. Lateral surface. And then medial surface is covered with the uterine, this one, ovarian tube, fimbria of the ovarian tube, like this, here, this one. So it will be coming in contact with the medial surface, okay, uterine tube, fimbria. And so these are the features of the ovary. And coming to the ligaments, we already mentioned. First one is the ligament of ovary, which connects the uterus with the lower pole of ovary. The next is the suspensory ligament, which connects the upper pole of the ovary with the pelvic wall. Okay. That is suspensory ligament. The third is mesovarium. This is peritoneal fold. This is attached towards the anterior border of the ovary. Okay, so these are the three ligaments related to the ovary. Okay. Then arterial supply, blood supply and nerve supply. The arterial supply is by the ovarian artery. Here we can see artery, ovarian artery. Okay, it is supplied by the ovarian artery and also by the uterine artery. Like this. Here comes the uterine artery. So in this picture we can see. So this is the uterine artery. So uterine artery also supplies the ovary, and also it is supplied by the ovarian artery. ovarian artery and uterine artery. Okay. Venous drainage. The veins emerging from the ovary forms a plexus surrounding the ovary, forms a amniform plexus, and finally drains into from the right side it will be drains into the inferior vena cava, and left side it will be drains into the left renal vein. Right side into the inferior vena cava and left side into the left renal vein. Okay. Then lymphatic drainage uh, drains into lateral aortic and pre-aortic lymph nodes. The nerve supply is supplied by sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic by T10 and T11 segment, parasympathetic by S2 to S4 segments. Sympathetic and parasympathetic. Okay. There. Coming to the function of the ovary. Ovary main function is production of the oocyte, produces the ovum. Okay. So during the reproductive life, it produces ovum within a circle of about 28 days. That is known as ovarian cycle, 28 days. Okay. Then the liberation of the oocyte or ovum from the ovary, that process is known as ovulation. And this ovulation occurs at the 14th day from the first day of menstruation. Ovulation occurs on the 14th day from the first day of the ovulation, menstruation, menstrual cycle. Okay. And second is other than producing the oocyte or ovum, it produces some hormones also. It's an endocrine gland. It acts as an endocrine gland and it produces hormones, that is estrogen secreted by the follicular cells and paraluteal cells of the inside the ovary secretes the estrogen, and also the luteal cells will secrete the progesterone. So estrogen and progesterone is also secreted from the ovary, cells of the ovary. Okay. Then coming to the histology of ovary.